Welcome back. As usual, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Again, I'm kind of still stepping outside of my norm and not talking about wrestling this time. This week, we're going to talk about the Unrivaled basketball. So, for those of you all who do not know, my actual background, like my college degree, my bachelor's, is actually in communications and journalism. Specifically, I really loved my journalism classes. They focus on sports because I love sports. I've always been an athlete my whole life. My master's degree is actually from Wayne State University in sports administration. So it's pretty much an MBA, but the focus is on sports. My OG thoughts when I was a kid is that I wanted to be actually an athletic director for like a YMCA or for like a school. My path didn't align that necessarily. But that's what the channel's for, right? We have to use our talents, use our things that we do. So let's talk about the Unrivaled League that had their inaugural season this year, and they had their inaugural weekend last weekend. Full disclosure, I'm recording this on Monday, and there are games tonight. However, I want to keep the party going and record my thoughts now, as most of the teams have already played. Tonight's games, teams are still mixing it up, but as far as the 6 teams having like their OG games, those have all been complete. So I do have my thoughts, I have my opinions. I'm old, so like I do have a very expensive MacBook, I have an iPad, but like I take my notes, an actual notebook. So they're going to see me looking down a lot because I actually have notes that I want to go over. So first, let's talk about the Unrivaled League. It was founded by Stewie and Nafisa. It is kind of created to kind of escape the WNBA's off-season rules and issues. I know we all heard about Brittany Griner and her issues with going across seas. We all know that women usually don't make a lot of money in the WNBA, so they kind of have to like offset their income by doing overseas. This is kind of an alternative to that. Because again, Brittany Griner's issues about a lot of it. I know Angel Reese was recently quoted over the weekend on one of her pressers saying that she has no desire to go across seas, so she's able to still get the things that she needs to do off season here and play for Unrivaled. So this is their inaugural season. The season started on January 17th of this year. All games are being played in Miami. That is very important. Very important. They're not traveling around. They're pretty much here all season. Obviously, they're able to fly back and forth and go home and do things like that. But they are in Miami for the entire duration of the season. It also gives them a chance to use the facilities, which we'll get to shortly. College women are also involved in this. So they have NIL deals with Floje as well as Paige Buckets. I know her name was in Buckets, but we're going to call her Paige Buckets because she be in these streets. Anyway, so the rules are essentially 3v3 ball, but it's not the average 3v3 ball. It is a condensed full court. These girls got to go up and down. Got to go up and down. It is condensed, but it is still considered full court basketball, unlike the normal 3 versus 3, where it's half court. There are 3 7-minute quarters. At the last quarter, they take the team that's winning and they add 11 points, and that is the winning score. There is no time limit on this fourth quarter. It's the first to get to the winning score. Again, the winning score is they take the winning team that has the most points and they add 11 to it, and that's where they get. That is their winning score. Again, it's very different than the big 3. They have 1 coach's challenge per game, and they have 1 timeout per half. So you kind of got to use it smart. It's super, super fast-paced ball. Like, you blink, you miss something. Like, it's super fast paced. I love it. Here are some more facts. So they signed a multi-year deal with TBS Turner Broadcasting worth over $100 million. Sephora is the beauty sponsor. So I know they're like, everyone saw their media day where all the girls were in the Sephora and they were getting their hair done, their nails done. That actually happens before every game. Sephora is their beauty sponsor. The refs wear Sephora jerseys. They're black and white, and they have Sephora. It is the cutest thing ever. Also, Sephora sponsors their walk-in tunnel. Again, super great idea. LI Financial is one of their big sponsors, as well as Samsung and State Farm. Again, they have very big sponsors for this because, again, it's worth over $100 million. They also have investors. Some of the investors include Michael Phelps, Dawn Staley, Juju Watkins, Mello, Rip Hamilton, and plenty more. Also worth noting, Coco Gauff. Coco Gauff is an investor in this as well. So fun fact, her dad actually is a hooper, and he wanted her to be a hooper. So this is kind of her way of kind of paying homage to her dad of like not going into like, she's like, I think in her caption she said, "Sorry, Dad, I can't ball, but I can support women who ball," and I love that. The tickets are kind of high though. So the tickets right now on average are going for about $500 a seat. And that's not resale. That is just the strict price of what this is. It's crazy. But if you think about it, each time you buy a ticket, you're getting 2 games. So, I mean, you're kind of getting 2 games. And the way the court is set up, you're essentially courtside. It's not in a big, huge field house that they normally are. It's very intimate, very small. Um, the resources that the building has is also very important. They have 2 courts, so you're able to warm up and hoop while the other team is still playing. Very important. They have a daycare and nursing rooms. Again, very important. A lot of these women are mothers. Like, for instance, Stewie and Bree both have kids. Stewie and Nafisa both have kids, and they wanted to make it a very family-friendly environment. Very important. All right, so there are 6 clubs. The teams are the Laces, the Roses, the Mist, the Vinyl, the Phantom, and the Lunar Owls. There is no draft. So how this went is that they had a selection committee. They made the teams based on skills, positions, and what they think that team needed. So like there was no formal draft. It was kind of just them coming to a table and kind of putting teams together based on what they thought the team needed. There are 36 players. All your faves are in this league. We have Stewie, Nafisa, Sabs, BG, Angel, Cameron Brink, Aaliyah Boston. Like, all your faves, I promise, are in this league. I know there was a lot of heat because Kelsey Plum backed out. Also, Caitlin Clark did not join, and neither did Asia Wilson. Women are allowed to take breaks, you guys. The reason why they didn't do it is because they wanted to focus on the next season and they wanted to have some time off. It's okay, guys. Let's not beat them up for not joining this. Maybe they'll be in next season. We don't know. But again, they're allowed to take time off, guys. Like, don't beat up Asia too much. Don't be too don't be too hard on my girl Kelsey Plum either. All right. So what are my thoughts on it? So I have a few. Follow me here. So this is a way for the players to improve their game. I think it's very important that, again, they're continuously working in their off season and they don't have to sit on multi-day, multi-hours flights to go across seas. I also think it's important that they get the development in as well. Like, Angel Reese looks really, really good. And it's so unfortunate because no matter what Angel Reese does, she's going to get flack. She's going to get held for it. And it's so unfortunate because she's actually playing really, really well. Like, yes, she is a rebounder. She's working on her shooting. She's working on her passing, all of the things, right? And it's also a way, because it's 3-on-3 ball, and they're usually, most of them are not playing with their actual teammates. They're mixing it up. So you get a chance to learn someone else's style, how they ball, how they do things, how they rebound. It's a kind of a way to kind of work on your development and learn how to do different things that are not normally in your wheelhouse. And again, I love that. 3v3 ball on a full tennis court, also really, really good for your conditioning. Like, again, you're able to still get these work in the off season. It's super important. I think that this game, from what I've seen over the weekend, would be perfect for like your Kennedy Carters. And I know Kennedy Carter is off season. She is over across season. She is a balling. But like this 3v3, like very homey vibe, I think like she would flourish. And maybe next year, maybe next year she will join Unrivaled. I think that it's going to be pretty hard next season to see who's going to do it because, again, it's only 36 players because you only got 6 teams. Maybe they'll expand and they'll get bigger as they grow. We'll see. So you're not guaranteed to have a spot next season. I think that's also very important to note. Like, you have to – it's going to get tight, man. Like, again, the more attention this gets, like the opening weekend was insane. Like, if you have not watched it, find a way to watch it. Like, again, these games are going to be on Friday night at 7. Saturday afternoon, the first game kicks off at 2, and then they're on Monday nights. I believe the first game tonight is at 7 o'clock. I really want you guys to watch it. Again, women's sports are really moving this year. They have definitely made some leaps and bounds. People have mentioned that their WNBA season tickets have like skyrocketed. And honestly, while that's unfortunate, hopefully they kind of taper that back down. I love it. Women's sports does not get the time and attention that men does. We all know the salary differences, which is why we even have to have these things because people aren't making money. Something else I want to point to, the women that are involved in this, I don't know anyone's pockets, right? So I can't say they don't need the money, but there are still really big names like Sabs is involved in this. And granted, she was a last minute signee. I think they kind of teased her being last minute, like the final 2 or 3 they announced her. Keep in mind that she also had surgery recently. But again, like, you're getting big names. You're getting BG. Like, you're getting Aaliyah Boston. You're getting Chelsea. Like, you're getting all these good players. And I think Stewie's great. Like, Stewie is gonna go in the Hall of Fame. Like, I think Stewie's. It's also showing Nafisa. Nafisa is a beast, and I think it's giving attention and time to women who normally don't get attention and time. Like, because you're always going to hear about your Kelsey Plums, you're always going to hear about your Angel Reese. This is giving like smaller players like Kate Martin. I think that this is going to help her grow, and I think next year she's going to be a beast. She was a beast last year, but I think using this as like a platform to continue to grow in development, I think the sky is her limit. Like, she has been working, and again, I've only seen a handful of games. There are some more tonight that obviously I'm going to lock into. This is going to be like my new personality until March is going to be this. They have a playoffs. They have a mid-season 1v1 tournament that I look forward to watching as well. Again, if you have not watched Unrivaled, please go watch. I will continue to cover it. I will continue to bring you updates. Again, I really enjoy it, and it gives me a chance to kind of work on my speaking, work on being more comfortable in front of the camera, and talk about something that I actually know. Because again, honey, I got degrees in this. Like, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to sports. Again, continue to like, follow, and subscribe if you want to continue to see my opinions and thoughts on this. Because again, I really love that women's sports is growing and it's booming, and I will only continue to grow. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you guys who my favorite team is. So because everything is so jumbled up and like my favorite players are everywhere, it's so hard for me to pick a team. However, Candace Parker is killing it. She hit the 2 game-winning threes, and it's hard to ignore. And she's on the Lunar Owls, so I think that the Lunar Owls might be my favorite team. However, I do like the Roses. The Roses are a really good team as well. That's Angel Reese's team, and you know I gotta support my girl because she's from Baltimore. I gotta support Baltimore girls. So yeah, I think those 4 are my favorite teams. However, the fandom has BG and Savs. Oh, guys, it's just hard for me to pick a favorite, but I'm going to go to the Lunar Owls. I'm going to say the Lunar Owls are going to win the inaugural season. Let's make it happen. All right, sorry. So bringing it back in, continue to like, follow, subscribe, comment, tell me what your thoughts are on Unrivaled. I'm very curious to hear what everyone has to say about it. I will see you on the next video soon. Yeah, y'all have a good day.